All right, thank you guys for your interest in purchasing and hopefully reading Learn It, Earn It, Train It, Physical Readiness for Hockey. This is the software that I utilize for making our training programs. In it, it's going to have everything nutrition, annual plan, and use a calendar to plan out your guys' seasons or off seasons, a 1 rep max calculator, a blank 4-day template. So if you want to transition to using a 4-day program instead of our 3-day program, and you will have all 20 weeks of our off season program, which has every day of training. The book only had the 3 days of resistance training, so you'll get our recovery days on here as well. The big thing will be utilizing the reference sheet. Here is where you will do all of your planning, and this is just like in the book and as well as originally in the system, Soviet Periodization Adapted for the American Strength Coach by Johnny Parker, Al Miller, and Rob Panarello. Allocate your percentages to whatever movements you want to prioritize in your training cycle, and that happens for each one. When you make those adjustments, all the information will change over here. You see the 10% increase up here. I'm not going to go too far in depth with this because there's some other videos on my YouTube channel that does that. But for novice level athletes, you do not need a 10% increase. You can literally keep 800 reps for the first 3 cycles and then have a small decrease on cycle number 4 because the emphasis will come from the change on how you're doing the movement. So changing the emphasis of the exercise and not the total exercise will provide enough of a training stimulus for the novice level athletes instead of having to increase volume, intensity, and the emphasis of the exercise. The undulating pattern right here, you can adjust this however you want for your weeks. This just goes over the total monthly, the total cycle volume repetitions. So cycle 1, again, reordered this. So we got our high volume day to let our guys recover on the weekend. So 34% on session 1, 24% of the volume on session 2, 42% of the volume on session number 3. And here's where you do your planning. All right. So once you made all those percentages and changes, it's going to predict the volume up here on these 4 upper tables. So you can do your planning. This is the predicted volume. These tables and below are all the actual volume. So the volume you will actually use for your training and where the cards will pull the information from. You can also see our color codes here indicating light training sessions, moderate training sessions, heavy and intense. If you don't know what they are, here's the little tables on the side to help you to reference them. Now planning can kind of be a pain in the butt if you leave the tables all open like this. So throughout the software, you're going to see these hide cells or minimize. So all you got to do is just minimize these cells and it'll clear that up, especially if you're trying to plan like a cycle 3. You don't want cycle 1, cycle 2, and cycle 3 on the bottom and you're trying to go back and forth. This makes it a lot easier. So just give you an idea, apologize, minimize this, idea on how this works. So cycle 1, week 1, session 1. I have 14 reps in the clean movement and I have 18 reps in the squat movement. So let me go to our program, cycle 1, weeks 1 and 2. We got open up here. We will see 14 reps for the clean, 18 reps for the squat. You can get those any various ways that you so choose depending on the goals of the training program. The white box is the current volume from the set and rep schemes that you currently have. The tan or the gold volume box is the recommended or the volume that you inputted on the reference sheet. So if you have 12 reps, you need to go, oh, I got 2 more reps to get to 14. You can do that any various ways. It's really easy. Once you get those adjusted, you just minimize these cells. So when you go to print off, they're not on there. And that is literally how every training cycle will work, minus the recovery type days, which you can just, change out the exercise how you want. The volume, you just type it in. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I hope this all was of some sort of value for you and helps you out. Thank you again.